the purpose of a yajna gradually unfolding in diverse ways, where every mantra, every aspect has such deep meaning. We saw the health dimension of how even a bhasma is the greatest, most potent medicine, and that has been made accessible to everybody, irrespective of any differentiation.
Especially like economic.
No economic differentiation also. Everyone has access to bhasma prasada. Everyone. But when we don't understand this knowledge, then we will think it's discrimination. No. The core dimensions have to be understood. Nature-based living, Pancha Mahabhuta, filled with prana shakti, the cellular processes, mitochondria, which are involved with powering the cells, draw their energy from multiple sources. One of the sources is photonic sources. Agni is a source of prana. Sun or Chandra, source of prana. And different grades of prana, different frequencies. It's multi-frequency. While a yajna ensures appropriate mechanisms for benefit to be transferred to everybody. Similarly, we live on Mother Earth. We walk on soil, not just on tiled flooring or pavements or tar roads. This is a source of electronic prana. Electrons, rich in electrons. Mother Earth is rich in electrons. And that also charges the mitochondrial process, cellular process. Only partially our prana comes from food. But now, since we are cut off from nature, we have reduced our activities. And we think that is sophisticated, that is great. And hence, we are trying to reap as much as possible from food itself. But it's not working. And hence, all the focus on food for health. Otherwise, food is just a small part. There are other sources of prana. Pancha Mahabhuta. Everything is a source of prana. A yajna signifies that. Just in this presence, we draw prana shakti. So we see even advanced knowledge of space sciences, such thing become possible. It is not unthinkable. We just need to read our Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata. You will see so much knowledge opens up. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. If you read it with Shraddha, so many things will open up. Then you will have thirst for knowledge, for various kinds of sciences, engineering sciences, health sciences, material sciences also. All kinds of vidya you will have interest in. Why? Because you see the possibility and you have inspiration. So a Daiva Yajna has benefit to offer along multiple dimensions. If you take social dimensions, everyone benefits from participating in a yajna. That's why as part of a yajna, we have mantra, we have dana. There is dana dharma. There is anna dana. Everyone is taken care of with respect to food. Now, does it happen in society? Yes, to a certain extent. That's why the Indian political leadership always tries to give food through the PDS, the public distribution system. There is ration. This comes from a deep science, social sciences, where equitable access to food has to be ensured. Nobody should go without food. That is good governance. And this is not recent principle. This comes from ancient times. That's a yajna. Is it easy to reach food to everybody in society? It requires complex governance structures. Complex. But that's the role. Svadharma, where we see our role in the context of benefit distributed to everybody. Not everyone can do everything. That's why everyone has to come together. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Coming together, we achieve such complex tasks which are based on fundamental values. Equitable access to food. Equitable access to health. Is it possible to reach health to all members of society? Now we will ask through what means. Because the only means we think is of in one direction. Hospitals and so on. No, equitable access means the knowledge of that. Knowledge as to how to live healthy. Our rishis have done it. Each of our home cooking is based on this masala dabba. Anjarai petti in Tamil we call. What components are there in the masala dabba? Jeera, methi, turmeric, mustard. So what does mustard do? So it makes it tasty. That is true. But there is deeper principle. That's the principle of the Ayurveda. Yeah, it heats. It increases Ushna. It increases Pitta. What does methi do? It cools. What does jeera do? It aids in digestion. So that's why each of those components is directly linked to state of health. And each household uses this. Is it dependent on economic status? The same jeera is used. Same pepper. Same mustard. Same turmeric. So health is made available to everybody. Just by a few food combinations. If your system heats up, then a knowledgeable person will include more methi. Reduce mustard. If there is kapha, congestion in the system, a little more pepper. With that, practical family health is solved. But this is to do with knowledge. If that knowledge were not there, then we are stuck with the tongue. So what does the masala dabba do? What is the use of masala? More taste. That means more masala. Make it danala kara sarama, inno. Put more. It's like more urea we put, more plant growth happens. There is law of diminishing returns. So there is a science to the usage. That is Ayurveda. So knowledge that helps equitable access to health, irrespective of economic status. equitable access to food, irrespective of economic status. And these are social sciences. Without such social sciences, how will we provide equitable access to every member of society? Not possible. Or we will just accept it blindly, saying some need to be poor. What to do? Some are poor. It is their fate. That is not a knowledgeable comment. So when we see a yajna, it includes all of these sciences. These sciences guide the process of the yajna. Similarly, correct value systems in society. That is the political process. The political process, the political sciences are to establish the right value systems in society. How should the society be governed? Along what value systems? Even now you can see. Along what value systems should the society be governed? That's the political process. So that is also a science. So the yajna is a means of establishing the right value systems in society. Equitable access to economic prosperity in society. Equitable access to health in society. Equitable access to food. And we are seeing more dimensions. Even knowledge, communication with the devatas. So you can see so many dimensions emerging through the process of the yajna. Now you can imagine why such a kriya was given so much importance in Sanatana Dharma. So much importance. If this is not recognized, then what is of value is not perceived. And when we don't see value behind a value, the value is lost. We should be able to perceive the value of any activity. If that perception is not there, then we will give up that activity. A summer vacation, we perceive value to traveling to different vacation spots. And hence we plan to engage in such an activity. Because it has entertainment value. We go to a job, even with lot of shrama, because there is economic value to it. We live in a family. Together we need to learn to live. Because there is deeper value to it, social value, dharma to it. Like that, a yajna combines all of these value systems. It provides for dharma, artha, kama and moksha. That's why in the sankalpa mantra you will have dharma, artham, kama, moksham. All the purushartha are satisfied through the process of a yajna. And this is not easy to achieve. Not through all activities are all of these purusharthas satisfied. Not easy to achieve. So understanding all this, we are participating in this Subramanya Yajna to Bhagavan Murugan. who is also called Kartikeya, Shanmukha, Subramanya Swami.
In the context of the Purushartha, reviving this Vedic wisdom becomes very important. We were talking about why the concept of yajna is crucial to the society and why we need to revive this Vedic wisdom. Because with the modern urbanization, globalization process, we all feel disconnected from the roots. So we don't know what is the purpose of doing whatever we have to do. For example, many young people don't see the point of why should they get married. Because the Vedic wisdom has not been infused into the society. A few months ago, I was interacting with a Nitya Agnihotri who has to do Agnihotra. And one of the eligibilities, of course, is that they have to be a Grihastha and both have to maintain together that Agni. So, the Agnihotra itself is done for loka sangraha, and the Agnihotri does not have anything for himself in that process. Of course, they will get benefited, but they will be leading a simple life with a lot of rules and regulations and guidelines and restrictions, mainly for the benefit of the society, so that the place where they are doing Agnihotra and the larger region is free from drought, free from food scarcity, free from theft and anti-social elements and all of that. So their daily prayer and upasana will be in terms of that the society should be free from this. That is their only work, and of course the communication with the Devadas for the revelatory knowledge. So when such a purpose is taken and Grihastha is the base on which it is done, then there is an aspiration to enter into Grihastha. So tomorrow if I say, in order to get a job, you have to be married. All the youngsters you will see standing in the queue or getting into the matrimony sites or finding their own partners or whatever it is. Because whatever the society is aspiring towards, for that I set up qualification accordingly. So if I say that the qualification in order to do loka sangraha through the Agnihotra process is the Grihastha, then everybody finds a meaning. Why? Because the entering a Grihastha is not just about splitting the expenses or living in the same place or cooking one's own food. It is not just about that. It is about being together, being as a family, including the larger family, including the larger society, and working towards the higher goal of Dharma Rakshana. So when that purpose has not been infused into the society, many people don't see the purpose of taking up any activity which is aligned with the Vedic vision. So similarly, when it comes to a yajna karya, whether it is part of the Nitya Karma or whether it is done on an auspicious occasion or a specific purpose yajna, when the larger vision of it is not infused into the society through the education process or through the acharyas of the society, or because of modern education that many people are cut off from the roots, then people have this question as to why should I do this, or what is the purpose, or why are we doing this whole activity. That is why bringing in the Vedic vision where there is Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, where Artha and Kama are pursued with Dharma as the foundation, and in the pursuit one eventually reaches the Mumukshutva and attains moksha, which is the highest goal which is spoken about in all the Shastras. But the fundamental work that we need to do is karma, which is aligned with dharma. So whether it is kama or artha, pursuit of material wealth or pursuit of pleasure, when it has the foundation of as dharma, then there is a possibility to be freed from the clutches of entanglement and proceed towards moksha. And that is why reviving the vision of the rishis towards doing a yajna karya becomes important. Otherwise, as we were looking at yesterday, it becomes a mechanical activity of pouring some materials into the fire, where the attention, the mind is roaming all over the place, but only the hand is operating into the yajna. But the rishis have clearly told, as he mentioned, like communication with the devatas, because all of problems on the earth cannot be solved only through human intervention. That is one thing. The second thing, this also becomes a process of many people coming together with a shared vision, with a shared goal, living a simple life which is sustainable, again, which is aligned with the vision of a yajna. And all the materials used for the yajna itself are coming from a very sustainable source. So you have flowering plants here, you just take the flowers from there. You have a cow, you just take cow dung from there. You have local soil, you just take local soil from here. And beetle leaves and whatever it is, flowers and fruits, they can all be grown here and procured here. So when we say a Vedic life, today people think a Vedic life means it's a complicated life which will require you to downgrade your life so simple that you go back into the stone ages. No. It is basically leading a life which is full of sustainability, ecological awareness, societal consciousness, and also with the larger spiritual aspirations as such. So that way, a yajna karya becomes important, and reviving the vision of the Rishi Parampara becomes important, and only then we will understand the purpose of leading a life as a brahmachari, as a vidyarthi, as a grihastha, supporting the society, as a vanaprasthi who has done considerable amount of karma in the society, but now would like to invest on the next stage of life. One prepares in the stage of vanaprastha. But in today's system, we do see in the vanaprastha stage, people don't find the point of going and reading the scriptures. They still want to earn money. They still want to have a name for themselves. They still block the way of youngsters coming into the forefront. But then the vanaprastha life is a preparation for the higher stages of life, which is of course the next stage, which is the sannyasa, where you are not bound by the purushartha of the society. You are free from whatever karma that you have been doing till now, whatever activity you have been doing till now. And there is a possibility to seek that moksha and work towards that through sadhana, through japa, or just living a liberated life. You are not bound by any questions or anything till what you were doing as a grahastha. So understanding this ashrama dharma, the different stages of life, and understanding the larger purpose of yajna has become very important in these times.
Why is it important to sustain dharma or give dharma the primary importance? Because there's a story in Ramayana. The story goes like this. Rama goes off to the forest. He goes to his mother, Kaikeyi, for her blessing. And Kaikeyi tells her, one of the verses, many things she tells him, but one of the things she tells him is, the very dharma that you protect will protect you. The priority that you give to dharma will give you the ability to sustain, and this dharma itself will protect you. So dharma is not some abstract ideology or some religious connotation or some teaching that we got from a book. No, dharma is a living process that includes all of us. Plants, animals, the earth, the universe, the stars, the planets, all inclusive. Dharma is a living process. Like this earth is not some planet floating around in space. It's a living organism. In this living organism, Dharma plays the part in finding balance in this living organism. It is a process that supports and balances everything that goes wrong. There's always this right and wrong process, positive and negative, and a balance that comes in between this so-called positive and negative. So that is why in the Yajna Kunda, especially when we come to what we call a Purushartha system of Yajna, there are many types of Yajna Kundas, but for the Purushartha Yajna Kunda, the Yajna Kunda is made square. There's a reason for this. It represents Dharma. It represents support. It represents sustainability. It represents base and stability. The stabilization of life in all its format. This is Dharma. And as long as you uphold Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you neglect Dharma, then you become adharmic, you fall from what we call grace, and then life becomes a very big punishment and a confusing matter. Because of this fall from Dharma, we've all become confused. There is a lot of war, there's a lot of conflict, because outer conflict starts with inner conflict. When the inside is not in balance, we look for conflict outside. Now, the inside balance is very important. The inner balance, if it is well aligned, then there is no reason for outer conflict. Outer conflict is created from inner imbalance. Then there is a psychosis of fear that is created because of this imbalance. So this morning we were doing pranayama, regulation of your prana, the right alignment of your prana and your energy centers. By Pavan Mukta. Pavan Mukta means freeing your prana so that it flows freely in all the right direction. So you will notice we will do each asana is balanced by the second asana. The second asana is balanced by the third asana. This balancing act is what life is all about. And Dharma is the process which helps you attain this balanced way of life. So that is why it is so important. You can have karma, you can have artha, but this will create imbalance in your life if Dharma is not put in the right place, given the priority that it deserves. So we equate in this tradition, and this is not just a Hindu Dharma tradition. This was the tradition, this was the teaching of this land. Hinduism, religion all came later. Prior to Hinduism, there was already Dharma. Even the Nastika teachings, their priority is Dharma. They'll call it Dharma talk. The Buddhists will call it Dharma talk. Dharma is very important. You cannot do without it. It's a very essential process of our existence. That is why it is given the most important place. It is the center in a gathering. Why fire? Fire is the transmitter. He's a communicator. He is the one. It is the one, that's the force that takes you from one stage to the next stage. The transformative effect. You want to turn water into ice, you have to remove some heat. We call it compression. If you want to turn ice into water, you have to add heat. So this plus and minus of heat changes the status, the atomic structure from one state to another. So that is why fire is used. It's got many dimensions, of course, purification, transformation, metal transformation from one stage to another, depending on the temperature to which you heat the elements. But the primary objective is Agni. Agni is not just fire. Agni is also heat. Agni is also communicator. Agni is also transporter. At one stage in the human evolution process, we'll be able to achieve what is known in the Western science as teleportation. We have a different term for it in the Siddha tradition. We call it prakaya pravesha. Moving from one physical form to another. This is very basic science in the Siddha tradition. Because whether you realize it or not, we do it all the time. We call it rebirth and reincarnation. It's an automatic process. Some people, it's sad that some of us have to die to experience it, but it is an automatic process. Even now we are transforming from one physical state to another. At some point all of us were children. Today we have become adults. Then we'll go into old age. We'll age and we'll crumble and the body will drop off when the time comes. And then you change to another form. So it tells you that this transformation process is natural. So with the right type of education, which allows, supports and sustains this transformation process, is what we should give priority to. That is our dharma. As a human species, the primary objective is to establish dharma. Animals cannot do this. Animals will support you. Nature will support you. But you are given the faculty, buddhi, this faculty. All our teachings will prioritize buddhi, developing the buddhi. Baudeya it's called. Supreme awareness. That's the actual definition of buddhi, baudeya. Supreme awareness. Awareness of the highest order. For that, the lower faculties of existence will sacrifice itself to attain this higher order. This is a natural process. And dharma is a natural process. Whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, dharma will fix you. It's got that power to do so. It will fix you. It will put you in the right channel. It will fix you up. It will say, this is where you have to be. You can try and fight it. It will bring you back. That's its job. That's its nature. That is its Svadharma. So like this, all of us have a Svadharma. Svadharma, in a simple language, is the gift that divine has given each one of you. A gift. Your Svadharma, your talent, your ability, your primary contribution. Our job is to cultivate the intellect within us to acquire and realize this gift. And when you have discovered this gift, this becomes your purpose in life. This is your purpose, to discover this supreme gift that each one of you have, your Svadharma. Some may be a musician, some has a Svadharma to sing, some has a Svadharma to transmit knowledge, some has Svadharma to heal, some has Svadharma to produce beautiful things, artist. In the ancient Sanatana Dharma culture, the culture evolved around promoting each and everyone's Svadharma, talent, the natural talent in each one of you, allowing it to grow, allowing it to flourish, allowing it to prosper, but with pure, powerful, dharmic awareness. Only then there is alignment. Only then there is balance. Where there is alignment, where there is balance, there will be peace. Where there is peace, there will be prosperity. Where there is peace and prosperity, there will be Parama Anandam. That is the goal of human existence, to attain, establish, and then share this Param Ananda. With that, I'd like to end this talk. Thank you very much.